Hello. Today I would like to offer you a free reading with a message from your spirit guides. So I've got 3 little piles of cards made up here, and I would like you to just relax for a moment and take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Take a few breaths, center yourself. Think of an area that you are concerned about or that's preoccupying your mind at the moment. And then intuitively pick one of these piles. Pile 1 has got a beautiful clear quartz point on top. Pile 2 a rose quartz Seer stone. And pile 3 a very lovely natural amethyst point with some keys in it. So take your pick. And we will start the interpretation. Start with pile number 1. The 9 of Pentacles, the King of Rods, know your fears, new beginnings, cut cords, and this one, fabulous. Okay, so we start with the tarot cards. You've got the 7 of Pentacles here, and you can see that he looks a little bit tired because that is obviously because he's been toiling very hard, but he has also amassed a fair amount of wealth. Now, he's been working hard, he's worn out, but he's already achieved a fair bit. Perhaps he thinks he's been working too hard and he's thinking maybe he should be doing something else. This would be indicated by the King of Rods. The King is always the last card in any of the suits, and Rods actually pertains to energy, to fire, to moving on and to actioning things. So perhaps this person is a little bit tired of working hard and is trying to think of a way of bettering their situation. Now, when you look at doing anything different from what you've been doing all along, there will always be probably fears and questions that come up. So this card here is encouraging you to know your fears. They say the only thing we have to fear is fear. So if you know what it is that you are afraid of, whether it might be a change of position, a change of relationship, the ending of something, which often pertains obviously to a new beginning in another area, it just makes you stronger to face and go forth on your path. The choice we have with fear is we can either turn our back on it and then we feel like our fears are chasing us and might be giving us nightmares. But if we are as strong as what this being here is depicted, then if we actually turn around and face our fears and our apprehension, then that actually makes us stronger. So we're not going to let them get the better of us. And I think that's probably key with this interpretation so far, that you need to be facing the fears so that you can continue going forward. And you are going to get your new beginning, which this is an absolutely beautiful card with the Phoenix. And just begin your new life. So this card is encouraging you to go forth fearlessly and then enjoy your new beginning, because you are going to be rising like a phoenix if you follow your passion and your path. So it does pertain to the home, to work, career and finances. So somewhere in there you are thinking you're going to be doing something different. It's not necessarily going to be easy, but there is a bright new beginning on the horizon for you for sure. So sometimes when we need to leave things behind to allow us to rise, we actually have to cut some cords in our life. So this card is asking you to speak with Archangel Michael to clear any old attachments to fear, a bit of a theme happening here, that stems from past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. So this would indicate that your relationship, even though this is a home and career, this is letting go of a relationship. So it could be a relationship with a family member, a relationship with a colleague or an employer, financial institution maybe, who knows. So it definitely ties in beautifully that fear is a bit of a thing that you need to let go of so that you can go forth with strength to get your new beginning. And the last card on the pile, the angel card, is actually the angel of relaxation. It's asking you to let go of the desired outcome, and you will get what you want. So when we get into a state of fear, because there's impending change, we can become quite uptight and tense. So we don't want that. So this card is just asking you, acknowledge that there are other things going on. It's okay to be apprehensive. You know there have to be endings to embrace a new beginning. But be relaxed about the process. Have a bit of trust in the universe and your spirit helpers, and everything is going to be fine. So that is your reading for the people who chose pile number 1. Now pile number 2. What's on the cards for you? You have got the Two of Swords and the Queen of Swords. The Ancient Ones, Enlightenment. Okay, so what has come forth for you today? So Two of Swords, which is indicating that you have a choice to make. She's sitting there with her arms crossed, holding a sword in each hand. Interesting enough, these are both sword cards. So swords is for the element of air. It pertains to ideas, thoughts, the intellect, those kinds of things. So you have a decision to make. The moon could indicate that there might be, and it looks like turbulent waters behind, that it might not necessarily be an easy choice, but you do have choices to make. However, the presence of the Queen of Swords, and she's a very forthright and I think knowledgeable woman there, even though there is the wind blowing, it is blowing in the direction in which she is facing. So you are going to make a decision that is going to be beneficial for you. You do have the support of the Ancient Ones. So this card is encouraging you to listen to your intuition, to listen to your spirit guides, to tune into the guidance from those people who have gone before you. There's an owl there, which is obviously for wisdom. The third eye is wide open while the eyes look almost blind. So that really is saying look inward within yourself and then out into the universe to hear what messages of support you are getting, because there are spirits at work which are going to help you make that decision that you've got to make there. This is followed by the Enlightenment card. So pursue your spiritual growth. So by embracing more this aspect, which is the more mystical part of the messages we might be getting and the guidance that we are able to receive, if you follow this, you are more likely to get your enlightenment. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to turn into Buddha, but it certainly means that you are going to gain a lot personally by connecting more with spirit. You will grow spiritually because you'll be more in tune with your guides, and that is going to be helpful in you making your decision so that you can go forth decisively. This card is listen to your intuitive feelings. So I'm hearing here is that you've got the spiritual growth, intuitive feelings. So there is intuition is the things that we hear maybe in our heads that is not, they're not our voices, that is our spirit guides and our ancestors talking to us. So once again, this ties in just absolutely beautifully with the message that you're getting. And it says your body is receiving accurate messages from the divine. So you might get a gut feeling about something, which is going to help you make the decision and go forth. Trust your intuition. Listen to the subliminal messages. You might be getting signs like with angel numbers. You might be a number that keeps popping up. You might keep finding feathers. You might see the same animal 3 or 4 times in unusual places. Like you might see a giraffe on a moving truck and then a giraffe on a treat somewhere, and you don't usually see giraffes because we live in Perth. So that would then mean then maybe look at the animal medicine of whatever animal you might be seeing repeatedly. So listen to your intuitive guidance, which is certainly ties into your spiritual guidance from the ancestors, the ancient ones, which will help you attain your spiritual growth and development. The last card that you got is the God of the Underworld. Now his message is that something which no longer serves you is about to end. So once again, there is something new on the horizon for you, and perhaps it might just mean that you are on a more intuitive and spiritual development path, because this is all about thinking and in the intellect and thoughts. So perhaps you're letting go of the more the rational thinking, logical mind, and perhaps you're about to embrace your spirituality and intuitive side. So I believe that is what this reading brings forth for you, for those of you who chose pile number 2 today. lucky last is pile number 3. What have you got for you? Okay, so we have the 9 of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Connectedness, originality, Goddess of Strength, and the base chakra. Fantastic. Okay, so first thing that jumps out at me in this reading is that you have got 2 pentacle suits. This pertains to your work, your home and your career, finances, those kind of very practical things. The 9 of Pentacles, she's away from the house, she's playing in the garden. There's little moons on this thing that she's got on her outfit. She's got a beautiful bird there. She's having a bit of a time of rest, but she's very, very close to achieving the abundance that she has been searching for in a materialistic sense. So whether that is she's wanting a different home, maybe she's improving the home, a different job, upgrading the job, those kinds of things. Career-wise, there might be something interesting happening, and she's getting there. So she's having a little bit of a reprieve before she makes the final move. The King of Pentacles, once again, like the King of Swords, is the he's the last card of the suit of Pentacles. So once again, this is attainment. He's a very sure man. He's very calm. He has been successful. He's got his castle right there. So he's worked hard to get what he has achieved, and that is also on the horizon for you. This card brings in a little bit more of a spiritual element to this reading so far. It talks about the interconnectedness. We have the sun and the moon. We've got the 2 dragons, the golden dragon and the red dragon. We have a tree of life. We've got a butterfly, which of course is always about transformation and change. We've got a beautiful woman there, which is possibly you, the querent, asking about it. And it is talking about how everything is intertwined, because the dragons are actually intertwined. The owl and the wolf, everything is together. It also looks a little bit like the caduceus, which of course, as we know, is that usually the 2 intertwined snakes, which is like the symbol for medicine and healing. So there is healing in being connected to all things. So this is very materialistic, it's very earthbound, and this tells us that there's another aspect that you also need to keep in mind. It can't just all be the nitty-gritty work kind of stuff. We also need to look at it maybe at the more esoteric side of things. So this is probably where your originality comes in. So this is blaze your own trail. So if you don't have anything intuitive going on, we are not going to get that originality. We are just going to be stuck doing the same thing again and again and again. If you're looking for something a little bit different, you need to actually be out there and embrace your originality. So don't be afraid to try something different, be something different. She is extremely joyful. She's like dancing in the oceans. Her hand is in the sky. She's got one leg up. Her arm is raised in the air. There's the moon and the stars in the sky. This is really just a beautiful, beautiful, joyous journey of going forth and being yourself. Be you in whatever form you wish to express yourself. You've got the Goddess of Strength next, which tells you to stand up for what you believe in. You will gain respect by holding your ground. So if you start being original and some other people are going, well, this is a little bit silly, or why are you doing this? I don't understand why you're doing that. You should just be doing this. The Goddess of Strength is with you to say, be yourself. You're going to get more respect from people ultimately by being true to yourself, and you'll probably respect yourself more than if you just follow suit. So you can either be a leader or you can be a sheep. I think this reading is asking you to actually be a leader. Follow your own bliss, your own guiding light, and you are fully supported on the journey. And the last card in your reading is the base chakra card, which choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances, as your words determine your outcome. So the synergy of these cards again is absolutely amazing. So we've got them. This is all about what this card is talking about. So this base chakra is about the rootedness, is about the material things, the things that anchor us here. But then they're also saying you need a little bit of this, because you need a little bit of balance. So whatever you are thinking, whatever you verbalize, is going to help bring into being that which you desire. So bear that in mind. Speak and say what you need to express by being true to yourself. You've got the strength to do it. Make sure you remain connected to your guides along the journey, and you're going to become this person while still embracing your own originality in the process. So this is what the message is for the people who chose pile number 3 for today's reading. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please feel free to share it with other people. And I look forward to seeing you next time.